What's up? This is Chris Johnson, aka your master trainer, your master teacher, and your life coach, dropping dimes. Listen, we're gonna be breaking down the year in the 4 quarters. 4 quarters, okay? We're gonna use sports as an analogy to compare to life, okay? This is just my vision. This is how I approach it. This is my belief system. Hopefully I'm able to impact you in regards of the analogy. Okay, the way I look at 12 months is I break them down into 4 quarters. Okay, the 4 quarters is starting with January, February, March, and then it keeps going. So let's just start with those first 3 months and how important it is to get a great start going into the first quarter. Our first analogy is sports. You know, you got pregame. You have the warm-up. You have activation period. These are all the build-up to the game. You have the fans cheering, roaring. They've been waiting all week to watch their favorite team play. They there. Bring them out. Bring them out. Here we go. Here we go. The first quarter is so important to impose your will. It's so important to set the tone. When you hear the coaches speaking in the locker room, all those pregame speeches are there to set the tone to start the game. We can't look at the end. We can't focus on coasting. We got to get a good start. We got to get out the blocks. If you're running a race, the most important and the first thing that you're taught is how to come out of the blocks. The initial, the start, the first quarter. Most of the people that come out the blocks fast, they get a great start. They got an opportunity to compete at the highest level. That's the same in team sports. It's the same in business. It's the same in life. It's the same being a student. You gotta get out first and attack that first quarter. So the way I attack it is, first of all, I set goals. My goals has to match the plan that I put in place. Okay, let's go back to that. I set goals, and then I set a plan to attack the goals. I want to get after it in the first quarter. I want to build my momentum. I want to see if I can build a lead, but I want to give my maximum effort. I'm not focused about the fourth quarter, focus on the first quarter. I'm focused on playing every second, every minute, and every hour as hard as I can. January is so important. It sets up your entire year. It sets up your vision and how you're going to attack it with your plan and how you're going to follow through with that execution. So important. So now, let's move into the second quarter. The second quarter is just as important as the first quarter, except now you have a body of work in the game to evaluate quickly to see how the game is going. Coaches at the end of the quarter, they talk to the team about what happened in the first quarter. Hey, this is what we can do better. These are the things that we already doing great. Hey, we noticed that this team is doing this, so we're going to counter it with our other plan. So you go into the second quarter with a little adjustment. Same game plan, same goals. In the second quarter, though, it's about finishing the first half. It's about the bench players. The starters have been playing, but normally at the beginning of the second quarter, that's when that 6th, 7th, eighth man, and ninth man, rotational guys are put into the game in any sport. They're put in there. And this is why each person has to be a star in their own role. This is why. They can't drop off. They have to press forward. So if I'm with a company and we got a great start and our CEO has pushed us out, we got to keep going and we got to carry it through that second quarter. Now, imagine teamwork makes the dream work, because even if we get into the second quarter with a slow start, don't mean that we can't finish the second quarter with momentum, with a strong start, with a strong finish. The third quarter is valuable. It's almost the same as the first quarter, but here's the difference. There's a halftime between the first two quarters and the third and the fourth quarter. At halftime, that's where the biggest adjustments for the game is. That's where the biggest adjustments during the year is. Yeah, you got January, February, March. You got them under your belt. Then you got March, April, May. Now we got a halftime. First 6 months are gone. We evaluating those first 6. We coming back with a different or the same game plan. If we're winning, you don't change the game plan. The first thing the coach says, hey, stick to what we're doing. They can't handle it. We got to come out and win the first 2 minutes of the third quarter. Why, coach? Why? Because that can be the difference in the game. Now, here's the difference also. If you're up, you're saying let's build more. Let's create more separation between the other team. If you're down, that coach is saying, listen, we got to correct some things. We got to get back to what we do, and we're going to regain the lead. But we're only going to do it one play at a time. There's no home runs. We just got to get on base. Get on base, get on base, get on base, then we score. So the third quarter is set up by the halftime speech and the evaluation of the first 2 quarters. Now in the third quarter, as you close it, it's all about endurance. It's all about endurance to close that third quarter, because you're going to be a little tired, because you're fighting, you're pushing, you're giving your all. Going into that fourth quarter is all about closing. There can't be many mistakes. Everybody on the team has to be on the same page. Everybody has to be on the same page in the fourth quarter. This is a closing quarter in every sport, in all of business. When you're closing out the year, you have to be extremely focused. The execution level goes up one more notch. The IQ, the strategies, team execution, understanding the numbers through the first 3 quarters, know what was working and what's not working. We had 3 quarters to figure this out. Now it's all about closing. Being a closer is not for everybody. The closers are the leaders of the group. They want the ball in the fourth quarter. They want the company. They want to make the decisions. They want to work late. They want to stay in late. They want to get there early. Those are closers. They're preparing to finish the game. They're running a race. Their endurance is up. The mindset is locked in. They're in beast mode. Now in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter, if it's a close game and both teams have been competing, blood, sweat, tears, now the separator comes down to that closer. How good can he execute? How can he make his teammates better? Does he know when to speak up? Closing out a year and closing out a game is the same. You have to put in the work to be that closer. The 4 quarters in life are very important, guys. This is something that I live by. This is something that I focus on. I fight for it. And I compete on a daily basis because I understand the 4 quarters. I would love to continue to connect with you guys. You're my audience. Drop your comments below over a topic that you would love for me to talk about and to give you my insight and be your life coach. If you want to communicate with me personally, just text me. Don't even worry about it. Just text me. Don't matter the time. 310-388-8610. Send me a text. And don't forget, listen, go right now, click the bell to turn on your post notifications because we want you to be a part of our team here. We love you. We out. Remember, just hoop.